good day, and welcome to Bend and Blaze 30-minute flow. I am Amanda. Thanks for joining me. This week we've been working on Locust Pose. We're going to do this entire 30-minute flow down on the mat. We'll strengthen and warm through our back line, open through our chest and our shoulders. Locust is really great for undoing the days sitting and slouching. So gather all your supplies and let's get started. We're going to do mini flow 2. Let's hit play in 3, 2, 1. And we'll start in a child's pose. And as you start to sink in, find a little bit more depth with every breath. Start to release anything you can release. So maybe it's physical, maybe it's mental. Quiet the chatter. And as you start to come into your Ujjayi breath, feel the warmth build in your whisper muscles, travel to your shoulders, release into your hips. Take one more big breath in, big breath out. Slightly lift away from your mat. Come into a twisted child's pose. So thread your right arm underneath your left arm. Bring your right ear, your right shoulder down to your mat. Feel the opening through your right side body, through your right shoulder blade. One more deep inhale, deep exhale. Inhale, come back to your child's pose, right arm forward. And then on the exhale, switch it out, left arm underneath your right arm. Left ear, left shoulder ground. Reach your right arm. One more breath. Next inhale, release your left arm forward. Stay for the breath out. Inhale, come up to a tabletop. Make your way to all four. Pull your belly in. Draw your shoulders down your back so you're long in your neck. Tuck your toes. Take a full breath in and just hover your knees above your mat. Feel the heat start to build already. We're not here for long. Big inhale. Exhale, release. Knees to the mat. Keep your left knee grounded. Extend your right leg straight back. Keep your hips level. Maybe your hands walk slightly forward. Drop your shoulders again. Full breath in. Exhale, release your left arm forward. Keep pulling your belly in. Bicep is framing your left ear. Drop your left shoulder. Big breath in. Big breath out. One more inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release. Left hand to the mat, right knee to the mat. Ground your right knee and extend through your left leg. Again, hips are level, shoulders lower. When you're ready, reach your right arm forward. Bicep framing your ear, drop your right shoulder. Pull your belly in. Reach the back of your knee toward the sky. One more full breath in. Breath out, release. Inhale, tuck your toes. Exhale, hover your knees. Full breath in. Exhale, down dog, lift your hips. Pedal it off. See if you can widen your feet a little bit more. Reach your sit bone a little bit higher to the sky. Full breath in. Big breath out. One more inhale. Exhale, slowly start to lower your knees to your mat. Inhale, right arm to the sky. Roll out your wrist. We're going to take another thread the needle, but keep your hips lifted this time. Take one more inhale. Exhale, thread the needle, right arm underneath your left, right your right shoulder to the mat. From here, you can keep your left hand planted, or you can creep it toward the top of your mat. Full breath in, full breath out. Inhale as you release, plant your left hand right in front of your face as you float your right arm. Exhale, tabletop, right hand to the mat. Inhale, left arm high. Roll it out. One more breath in. Exhale, thread the needle, left arm underneath right. Left ear, left shoulder to your mat. And then maybe your right arm reaches the top of your mat. One more inhale. One more exhale. Inhale, release. Plant your right hand, float your left arm. Exhale, tabletop, left hand to the mat. Find some cat-cows. Inhale, lower your belly, lift your heart forward, lift your gaze, lift your tailbone. Exhale, round your spine, tuck your chin, tuck your tailbone. It's your breath to movement. Keep it going. Make your way back to a neutral tabletop. Big inhale, big exhale. From here, slowly, gently start to hinge back toward a hero's pose. So your toes are tucked or untucked behind you. Totally up to you. You can also bring a block in between your heels to sit back onto it. Full breath in, arms to a T. As you exhale, start to round forward. Give yourself a big hug as opposite hand comes to opposite shoulder. Feel that space between your shoulder blades. Inhale, open back up to your T. This time lift your heart space, bring it into a back bend. Open through your shoulders, through your entire front line. Exhale, bring it back into a rounded cat as you give yourself a big hug. Inhale, lift, open, extend through your entire front line. Find the back bend. Exhale, round. It's our last time through. Inhale, lift, open. Exhale, release. Hands to your legs. Give yourself a full head circle in one direction. No rush. Take your time. Switch it out to the other direction when you've finished. Head stacks over your shoulders. Roll your shoulders up, back, and down. Inhale, arms to a T. Exhale, eagle arms. Start to wrap your right arm underneath your left. Again, opposite hand to opposite shoulder, or you can bring the backs of your arms to touch. Maybe you wrap around, palms to touch. Lift your elbows, push them away. Draw your chin neutral. Big inhale. Big breath out. Inhale, arms to a T. Exhale, switch it out. Left arm underneath right. Find your variation of eagle arms. Lift your elbows, push them away, drop your shoulders. Breath in. Big breath out. Inhale, open it up. Exhale, come back to your tabletop. So plant your hands, stack your hips over your knees, move your block if you had one. And we're making our way to down dog. So an inhale, tucks your toes. An exhale, lifts your hips. Find the length in your spine, pedal it off. One more breath in. Bigger breath out. Inhale, gaze forward as you hinge forward, shoulders over wrists. Exhale, option to lower to your knees as you come all the way down to your mat. Elbows graze your ribs, take it slow. Flip to the tops of your feet. Push into the tops of your feet. Feel your legs super engage as your kneecaps lift away from your mat. Drop your shoulders. On your next inhale, start to peel your chest away from the earth. Little to no weight in your hands. Big inhale, push into your pelvic bone as you lift your heart space forward. Exhale, release. Press yourself up to a tabletop, knees stay grounded. Once again, you're stacking shoulders over wrists and hips over knees. Start to reach your right leg back, left arm forward. Big inhale. Big exhale. One more deep breath in. Exhale, release. Switch it out. Left leg back, right arm forward. Full breath in, level your hips. Big breath out, drop that right shoulder. One more inhale, reach from heel to fingertips. Exhale, release. Drawing a full circle with your torso, roll out your wrists in one direction, and then switch it out. Inhale, tucks your toes, come back to neutral tabletop. Exhale, down dog. Full breath in. Find stillness, breath out. Inhale, gaze forward, hinge forward. Exhale, slow lower. Inhale, baby cobra, peel your chest, push into the tops of your feet. Exhale, release. Inhale, high plank or tabletop. Exhale, down dog. Pedal it off. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, come into your high plank. Pause for the inhale. Exhale, bring it all the way down. We're going to set up for some locusts. Several different variations here. So we'll take 3 different rounds. You can make it your own by taking our first round 3 times, taking our first round twice and then resting, taking your own variation. You do you. So as we set up, we're going to kind of come into a baby cobra start. So that idea of pushing into your legs so they're so active, your kneecaps are lifted, but we're going to end up lifting them. So we want to come into it with as much length as possible. So float that right leg a little bit, extend, and keep that extension as you bring it back down. Notice how much longer your right leg is. Same thing with your left leg. Extend, reach, keep the extension as it comes back down to the mat. From here, gaze straight down or maybe toward the top of your mat for a long, long spine. Our first variation, we're going to bring our hands down next to our thighs. So arms are long, hands next to our sides, palms down, pinkies in. Just kind of TP your hands to the mat. Deep breath out. And on your inhale, peel your chest, peel your legs, and then creep your fingertips away. So as your fingertips start to inch towards the back of your mat, your heart is lifting away from the mat, shoulders come back together. Be sure your feet are at about a hip width. Full breath in. Exhale, release. Bend at your elbows, stack your hands underneath your forehead, and rest your head to your hands. Release all the pressure through your low back. And just breathe. We're going to set up for round 2. From here, we're going to once again keep our gaze toward the top of our mat. Setting up, you could even just rest your forehead or your chin to your mat. But our hands come back down next to our sides again. This time, flip them up, palms to the sky, thumbs in toward your sides. Extend both legs, lift them, reach them, and then bring them back down to the mat about hip width apart. Deep breath out. And on the inhale, lift everything away from the mat. Keep pushing into your pelvis and reach your shoulder blades back, heart forward, neck long. Full breath in, lifts a little higher. Exhale, release. Once again, stack your hands, rest your forehead. Option here to bend into your knees and kind of rock from side to side. Our last variation here brings in a chest expansion. So find stillness, release your feet to your mat. Find the length in your legs. Lift them and extend them long. Place them back down to the mat. Here, bring your hands to your basket grip behind you. Clasp them together. Roll your shoulders up, back, and down. Reach your fist toward your heels. Deep breath out. And on your inhale, lift away from the mat. Gaze stays about to the top of your mat so your neck stays neutral. Keep reaching your fist back. Full breath in. Stay for the breath out. One more inhale, lift higher. Exhale, release. This time plant your hands right under your shoulders. Push yourself up through tabletop into embryo pose. Take your time. Maybe your knees walk forward a little bit. Both your knees together and your feet together. Sink your hips back. Then your forehead toward your mat. You can stack your hands and rest your forehead. You can stack your fists if you need a little bit more lift. You can bring a block underneath your forehead. Option, if you're not using your hands underneath you, to bring your arms next to your sides. Come back to your Ujjayi breath. Feel the release with every exhale. One more full breath in. And deep breath out. Plant your hands next to your knees. Slowly roll up to a hero's pose, sitting back onto your heels again. Once you get there, give yourself a moment to let the blood rush out of your head. And then when you are ready, sit onto one side, sweep your feet forward, scoot toward the top of your mat. We're going to come into a staff pose to remove the fleshy parts from underneath your sit bones. A little bit of a bend into your knees, flex your feet toward your body. Inhale, arms high. Exhale, reach for your toes to keep the length in your spine. Especially if you felt that locust pose working the low back specifically. Keep your heart lifting, your tailbone tilting back. So the more you can lift up in your spine and in your back line, the more space you'll create in that lumbar where you probably felt some work happening. One more full breath in. Full breath out. Sink a little deeper. Inhale, slowly rise. Draw the left foot in to touch the inside of your right thigh. Inhale your arms to the sky. Exhale, square your shoulders over your extended leg and then fold straight into it. Stop at any point. You can keep your hands to the mat to keep your spine long and your shoulders squaring over that right leg. Another variation is to bend a little bit more into it so you can hold on to your foot or your ankle. Also option to wrap a strap around that foot. Use that to create some extension and leverage. If you want to reach a little bit deeper into it and challenge yourself more, you can bring a block underneath that foot and hold on to the block. But just some key things to remember. You are keeping the shoulders squared, so you probably feel some stretch and extension through the left side of your back. And you can keep as much of a bend into that right knee as you want. One more breath in. Big breath out. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, release, left leg long. Fold your right knee in. Inhale, lengthen your spine, arms to the sky. Exhale, square your shoulders over your extended leg and then fold into it with square shoulders. Whichever variation you found on the other side, explore all the options you took, see how they feel different. One more big breath in. Big breath out. Inhale, slowly rise. Extend both legs forward. We're going to end up on our back, so make sure you have enough space behind you. Reach your palms forward and up. Heart space lift, shoulders come back. Deep inhale, pull your belly in tight. And on the exhale, slowly, gently take it to your mat. Draw your knees into your chest. Find a gentle rock side to side. Find some stillness. Into a happy baby, knees wide, heels stack over your knees. Grab a hold of the backs of your thighs and then flatten it out through your spine so your chin comes a little closer to your chest, your shoulders melt down. Option to stay right there. Option to work your grip toward your calves, your ankles, the bottoms of your feet. You can use some straps here if you wish. Most importantly, knees wide, heels over knees, and back flat. One more deep breath in. Deep breath out. Draw your knees into your chest. Give them a gentle squeeze. And then drop both knees to your left. Both shoulders are glued down to your mat. Left hand might hold on to your right knee or right thigh. Optional gaze over your right shoulder. One more breath. Use your inhale to bring it back to center. And your exhale to switch it out, knees drop to your right. Left shoulder stays grounded. Optional gaze to your left. Next inhale, bring it back to center. Exhale, give yourself a tight, tight squeeze. Wrap your arms around your legs, draw your forehead to your knees. Take a full breath in. Open mouth, exhale as final Savasana. Corpse pose. Let everything go. Let your feet fall wide. Let your shoulders melt down. Just give yourself this time to surrender to gravity, to your breath, to your thoughts. And that will guide us out. Gently start to deepen your breath. Rock your head from side to side. And wiggle your fingers. Wiggle your toes. Roll your wrists and your ankles. Give yourself one more full body stretch. Reach your arms and your legs. And then roll onto your side into a fetal position, whichever side you prefer. Use the strength in the top arm to push yourself all the way up to a comfortable seat. Your hands can rest onto your legs, palms up or down, or you can bring your hands to heart center. Start to release your air. Find a gentle inhale to the count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Suspend your breath. Take another sip. Open mouth, let it go. And again, breath in. 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause. Fill your lungs to capacity. Unhinge your jaw, exhale. Come back to a normal breath cycle. The light in me honors and recognizes the light in you. Thank you so much for flowing with me and making it to your mat. Namaste.